Okay, and so we're back with compound inequalities and. Okay, so you will know that it is an and compound inequality because you will have two symbols. Okay, two inequality symbols in the same expression. Okay, so here's one and here's one. That's your clue. Clue, hint. We're dealing with a compound inequality and it's and because it doesn't say the word or. Pretty simple. Okay, so I'm going to circle the X because that is what we're solving for. So you already had a few minutes to write this example, so I'm going to show you how we're going to solve for X in this situation. Basically, the goal here, okay, is to get this X all by itself in between the two inequality symbols. So that means we need to get rid of the 2, we need to get rid of the -3, and we need to get rid of the -6, okay? How do we do that? Just like we do all other algebraic equations by doing the opposite of what we were given. So, well, obviously we have a fraction here, so we want to get rid of the fraction first. How do we do that? By multiplying by whatever is in the denominator, okay? But now here is the biggest difference that you're going to notice out of anything we've done this year so far. So how do we get rid of that 2 in the denominator? By multiplying by 2. But here's the difference. You're going to multiply by 2, multiply by 2, and multiply by 2 on all 3 sides. Okay? And what happens here? The 2's cancel. Okay? So 2 times 3 is 6. Bring down your inequality symbol. Bring down what we have in the numerator here, right? So -3x minus 6. Bring down your inequality symbol, and 15 times 2 is 30. Okay? Everything's fabulous. Have we solved for X yet? No. Circle. Okay? We want to get this X all by itself in between the two inequality symbols. So, we just look at this and say, oh, we're going to have to add 6 and divide by a -3. So let's do that. But we have to do each step one at a time. So we're going to add 6, add 6, add 6 to all 3 times, okay? And we have 6 plus 6 is 12. Clean it up, bring down your inequality symbol, bring down these cancel, bring down your -3x, okay? Bring down your inequality symbol, and here we have 30 plus 6 is 36. Have we solved for X yet? No. One more step, okay? We have to get rid of that -3. We almost have that X all by itself in between these two inequality symbols. So what is the opposite of a -3 times X? Divided by -3. So we're going to divide by -3, divide by -3, divide by -3, all 3 times. This is how we handle the compound inequality. Those -3's cancel, and we divided by a -3. Okay, do not forget that when you multiply or divide by a negative number, we have to what? Flip the symbol, bring it down, do it right away. Okay, bring this down, do it right away, flip it. Okay, so bring down our X. So now what do we have here? A positive divided by a negative gives us a negative, negative what? -4. Positive divided by a negative gives us a negative, negative what? -12. And here is your answer. Okay, so that's a -4. All right, so now all we have to do is graph this. And once again, how you say this is how you graph it. Now I'm going to teach you how we say this. First of all, we have to put 0 on the graph, okay? And we have to put the numbers that we have here on the graph. So we have a -4 and a -12. So actually, let me just make some more room here, and I'll put the 0 here. We have -4 and we have -12, okay? So in order to graph this properly, we have to say this compound inequality twice, okay? And both times we're always going to start with saying the variable first, okay? So how we say this is we start by saying X is less than -4, okay? So on the -4, we put the open circle and point that arrow to the left, okay? And, okay, that's where the and comes in, okay? And X is greater than or equal to -12. So we're going to do the colored in circle because it's got that equal to line underneath it. We greater than always goes to the right. So we go to the right and then we shade in between and we're done. That is your and compound inequality. Fabulous.